Hey everybody. So in my real life, I am an office worker in downtown Austin. And if you've been watching the news, there are lots of return to office orders starting to come through. One of my very first videos on YouTube was this, an office supply emergency kit I made many years ago. And I thought I would dust that off and see what's changed since then. And obviously I've made some updates. There'll be a lot of ideas here that you can kind of take and see what works for you at various price points. A lot of stuff has gotten more expensive since I first built this, I discovered in researching this video. So first off is the bag. So this is a maxpedition EDC bag, and this has gotten a little bit more expensive last couple of years. It's $30-ish. And I like it because it lays flat, but it might not be the right pick for you, the right pick for your situation. A couple of really simple alternatives are these canvas zipper bags. These are made for pens and pencils and stuff like that. Very well made and very inexpensive. I think a pack of 4 is like $12. So these are like $3 or so. I'll put some links. So a good alternative and still small enough to fit into a typical office desk drawer. So the first thing that I always recommend is first aid supplies. If your office is anything like mine, you may have a company provided first aid kit. You might have a department related first aid kit. You might have nothing. And even if you do have something that's provided, it's probably old and probably not stocked very well, particularly if you're coming back to the office for the first time since COVID. So I always keep my own first aid, basic first aid supplies in my backpack and in my desk drawer. You might be tempted to grab one of these little cheapies that you can get at a grocery store. They're $1 or $2. They have them at Dollar General. They have them at Big Lots. They're kind of all over the place. I'm really not a fan of these because they're better than nothing, but they kind of come with the wrong mix of stuff. They're also, the case is small, but it's kind of bigger than it needs to be if you're trying to keep something into a tight package. So if you don't want to think about it, you certainly can grab one of these. What I really prefer to do is buy a large box of assortment Band-Aids and build my own using little Ziploc bags. Now, the maxpedition has this cool little zipper pouch in the back that is perfectly sized for things that lay flat. So that makes this really convenient. If you're going to use one of the other things, you need a container to put it in. Ziploc bag works just fine. So in my first aid section, I've got some wet wipes just in case my hands are dirty when I need to give first aid, and just a big variety pack of Band-Aids, hand wipes, some little small gauzes just in case something larger happens, but just kind of a random variety of Band-Aids basically. And I use them all the time. I'm always getting paper cuts or something like that around the office. So I go through Band-Aids really frequently, and I can save a whole bunch of money by buying a big box and just reloading every couple of weeks when I start to run low. So first aid supplies is tops on my list. To go along with first aid supplies is medication. So Advil, Aleve, Zyrtec, if you've got allergies like I do. And I discovered these amazing specimen tubes. They're made for, chemical specimens or something like that. And a bag of 50 was like $15 or something like that. So they're incredibly inexpensive. They're about the size of a AA battery, and I can fit a dozen Advil in here, a whole bunch of Zyrtec, in this really, really, really nice, small, tight little package that again fits really beautifully inside this maxpedition pouch. If you're going to buy one of these prefabs, they drop inside there perfectly fine as well. I also will take a label maker, because I have one, and make a label along the outside as to what is actually inside here. We use these when we travel to cut down on size and weight in our bags. Another item that I discovered when I was building my pocket EDC pouch around December are these titanium tweezers. They actually come in a pack of 2, a mini size and then kind of a mid size. You can see that they don't take up any size at all. They are the most minuscule and weigh nothing. But getting a splinter or a stinger bite or something like that at work, really super convenient. It takes up no room. Next item, something that sounds strange until you need it. A lighter for those impromptu birthday parties and, work potlucks that we have. I also had to use this to melt a piece of plastic on an office sign. Also, takes up no space. They cost nothing. So having a lighter laying around ends up being more useful than you would think. Next up, miniature sewing kit, because having a wardrobe failure at work is never a good thing. I was amazed at how cheap these are. If you buy them in bulk, they get down to around $1. I bought 2 for about $5, so about $2. I've got an assortment in here with pre-threaded needles in various colors, some buttons. So this is one of those things that you'll be really happy to have if you need it. Also takes up no space. Next up is flashlights. Flashlights sound like a silly thing since everybody's got a smartphone with a flashlight in it. But again, do you really want to be crawling under your desk to plug an extension cord with your $1,000 iPhone using as a flashlight when you can get an LED flashlight for $5 that's brighter? There are flashlights of all types and shapes and sizes. This is a rechargeable one. I'm moving to USB-C for everything because I'm an Android guy. They do have them that still take AA batteries if you really want to do that. I wouldn't recommend it because you're probably going to put it in your drawer and forget about it until you need it. So having a rechargeable one, the lithium battery inside will last longer than a regular alkaline. If you're really trying to cut down in space and weight, I found these incredible miniature flashlights. They're rechargeable and USB-C. Again, you can see it's about the size of a AA battery. This is absolutely incredible. This was a pack of 4 for $13. So those are $2 or $3 a piece. This is absolutely amazing, and it's incredibly bright. So if you're trying to make a super mini kit, this would be the one. I'll put a link to it because this is amazing. Next up is a multi-tool. Why? Because they've got so much functionality depending upon which size you get. We've got pliers, we've got a knife, we've got tweezers, we've got a screwdriver, we've got a file. I use this thing very, very, very frequently. This is a Leatherman Wingman, I believe it is, and these got a lot more expensive in later years. If you want to buy something generic off of Amazon because you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. If you want to buy something nice, that's sturdier, certainly recommended. It's all kind of depends on what your budget is. There's also some incredible miniature options if you're trying to make something very, very, very small. This is a Gerber Micro that has essentially the same functions as the Leatherman, just in a much smaller package. I've got pliers, I've got a knife, I've got a little baby screwdriver, I have all kind of the essential things. There's also a Leatherman Micra that has scissors instead of pliers. They're pretty expensive for what you get, but whatever direction you go, I would recommend having a multi-tool. Next up is something else that you don't realize that you need till you need it, and that's some rope or some string, whichever. So where I find this to be really useful is when you're moving office furniture and you need to tie the door open because you don't have enough people to hold it for you. That sounds really, really, really silly, but I think everybody can relate to that at least once. So this is some accessory cord. I actually don't like paracord. This is smaller than that. It's sometimes called 325 cord. It's like 10 feet or so, which is more than enough. Or again, if you want to make it even smaller and lighter, this is some braided mason line from Home Depot wrapped around an old gift card. And the other thing that I do with this is I've got a little snap clip on it because I also carry this little magnet on a key ring. Why? Have you ever lost your keys down a drain or behind the back of a desk that you can't move? And now you get to be the hero. So again, these things don't cost very much money, and you'll be really, really, really happy to have them when you need them. The next item on my list is some of these old COVID masks still sealed up into plastic. Not so much for airborne diseases, cold and flu, although you certainly could use it that, but for fires. So ironically enough, a couple of weeks ago, somebody was cooking some noodles in the break room at my office and didn't add enough water. Thankfully, the smoke didn't set off the fire alarm, but there was definitely a haze in the office that I was at, and a lot of us were coughing and hacking. Can you imagine what it would have been like? It would have been a real fire. So if you have to evacuate and you're going down the stairs or whatever, having a couple of masks in your bag would make breathing a little bit easier for you. The final item that I strongly, strongly recommend that's a little bit too big for this kit is a USB battery. This is an anker that has its own USB cord built into it, and I use this thing all the time. I'm not at my desk all that frequently, just based on the nature of my job, but if you've ever been called into a meeting at 3 o'clock and you forgot to charge your phone in and you need to be doing stuff and you don't have time to charge it, you can take this into the meeting with you and charge your phone wherever. And this thing charges really, really, really fast. There are some cheap knockoffs that are out there. I think this was about 20 bucks. It'll charge my phone 3 or 4 times, and it charges really, really, really fast. So I keep it in my backpack, and it's usually at my desk. And if I have to go into a meeting and my phone is getting low, I can grab it and take it with me and keep my phone juiced up. So this is, I believe, is the most important prepper survival item anybody could have. Anyone who's got a cell phone should have an external USB battery laying around. They are so, so, so useful. The final item is twofold, and that's training and equipment for an active shooter event. I strongly believe that everyone should take a first aid, CPR, and Stop the Bleed class. In Stop the Bleed, they'll teach you how to deal with mass casualty shootings using wound packing and tourniquets. This is a IFAC, individual first aid kit for active shooter situations. This came from North American Rescue from LA Police Gear. Inside here, we've got a tourniquet. I know I need to stage this. And compressed rescue gauze, gloves, more rescue dressing, and a chest seal. So everything that you should need for a traumatic gunshot injury, all in one really nice tight package that will fit easily in your desk drawer. Well, I hope that this was helpful and interesting and useful and gave you some ideas, and I'll put links to all the stuff down below. So thanks. We'll catch you on the next one.